Hey yogis! Welcome to today's tutorial. We are going to be doing some back bending. It's going to be all happening on the mat here. No crazy camel or camel to wheel postures today, just some stretching and strengthening for your spine. So if you're going to join me here on the rubber rectangle, my recommendation would be that you've done a little bit of a warm up before we get here. So some sun salutation A and B, maybe you've been for a run around the block. But let's get started in tabletop. We're going to start with a few rounds of cat-cow. Pressing the shins into the mat and the hands directly underneath the shoulders. We want to start by creating some space between the scapula. So we're still in a fairly neutral position. And we're just going to take a few rounds of breath here before we go anywhere. A deep inhale, you can close down the eyes. A deep inhale through the nose. Feeling the breath expand into the back ribs, and an exhale through the mouth. Inhale through the nose, feeling the back body expand, and as you exhale through the mouth, feeling that gentle release. One more round of breath. Inhale and exhale. Let's start to add in a few rounds of cat-cow. So our cow posture is where we dip the belly down to the earth, squeeze the shoulder blades together, and we do this as we take an inhale breath. Exhale, and you're going to round through the back body, creating space in the scapula, drawing the chin into the chest. Inhale, belly down. Gaze towards the sky. Exhale, rolling through the back body, chin to the throat. Gaze to the belly button. Inhale, belly down. So last round. Exhale, roll. And I learned today that belly button in Indonesian is prasad. So gazing to your prasad. Inhale, coming back to a neutral spine. Just walking the hands back up the thighs, stepping the left foot forward. We're just going to do a gentle hip stretch here. So drawing the belly into the spine, we want to feel that little posterior tilt or drawing down of the tailbone. Rest the hands just on top of the quadricep, and you're going to lean into that stretch. So if this is a little challenging for you in terms of balance, you're more than welcome to grab some trusty blocks, have them on high height, and drop into the stretch this way. Whatever is working for you. Blocks are fantastic because they give you a sense of what might be possible. Otherwise, you can use the hand here. Be sure to keep drawing the belly into the spine and allowing yourself to drop a little bit deeper. We're doing some of our back bending. It's really nice to make sure that we stretch out the hip flexors and stretch the quads. It's all interconnected. One more round of breath. Inhale creates a little length in the spine, and as you exhale, seeing if you can draw the hips a little closer to the earth. Release the hands back down to the mat and slide that foot back. Tabletop. You can walk the hands back up the thighs. We're going to step the right foot forward. Again, yogi's choice if you want to use blocks or not. Otherwise, hands onto the top of the quadricep. Take an inhale breath. As you exhale, surrender the hips down towards the earth. So again, belly into the spine. We've got that slight posterior tilt of the pelvis, creating a little length in the back body. Two more breaths here. So sensation of wanting to slide that back foot away, pressing that front foot into the earth. Exhale, release the hands back down to the mat. Let's take two more rounds of cat-cow while we're here. Press the hands into the earth, shins into the earth. Inhale, belly goes down, gaze high. Exhale, roll and find your prasad. Inhale, belly down, last round. Exhale, press and roll. So we're going to come down onto the mat. Take the hands slightly forward. Never miss an opportunity to strengthen through the arms and shoulders. Lift the knees and elbows into the ribs. Drop it down. There's a little bit of a push up here. And you'll find yourself in this belly down space for your back bending. So our first posture we're going to come to today is called Sphinx pose. So I'm going to get you to separate the feet a little bit. They can be as wide as the mat or as wide as the hips. Elbows are just underneath the shoulders, and you're going to dig the elbows into the mat. Leave the hips where they are and feel like that sensation of sliding forward. I like to say telescoping the ribs away from the hips or separating the ribs away from the hips. So while you're here, there's still that concept or that sensation of wanting to tuck the pelvis or make the back of the body long. And trying to drag the self forward. You're going to take one more rounded breath here. And as you take that inhale, take a gentle gaze towards the sky. Exhale, release down. Take the arms out from underneath you and place the right ear on the mat. So you're gazing to the left side. So from here, bring the knees together, reach around and grab a hold of that left foot and pull your heel into your butt. Now, if this is a little bit of a trick for you, you can grab a strap or a towel and see if you can pull that in. If you like, you can also do this in standing, but we're already lying on the floor, so it's good to get a little bit of variety here. Press the hip into the earth and pull the heel towards your butt. Release that down. You can bring the head back to center. You can turn your left ear down to the mat and gaze to the right. So that we get a little bit of neck stretch while we're here. Then we're going to pull the right heel in towards the butt. Three more rounds of breath, getting a lovely stretch through your quadricep. Exhale and release. Separate the feet once more. Take the elbows forward and come back into your Sphinx pose. Remember to dig the elbows in and feel as though you're separating the ribs away from the hips. So it's like the pelvis or the hips stay down on the floor, connected to your mat, and you're trying to drag the body forward, the ribs away. 2 more rounds of breath here. And with this last round of breath, you're more than welcome to gaze towards the sky. Exhale and release. We're going to take the hands out now, and we're going to come into seal pose. So the hands are roughly at the side or on the corners of your mat, and the feet are still separated. As you inhale, release the breath. As you inhale the breath, lift the chest up off the earth. Slide the shoulders down the back body. Keep the hips connected to the earth. So you can see my hands are reasonably far away here. So you might even still have a slight bend in the elbows. That's perfectly okay. Then as you start to build or gain flexibility in the back body, you can start to bring the arms a little closer if you want to intensify or increase that stretch. So yogi's choice as to where you're at in this space. You can even bring the arms a little bit closer if that works for you. Try and slide the shoulders down the back body away from the ears. 2 more breaths here wherever you are, whatever's working for you today. 1 more breath. Exhale and release. Bring the right ear down to the mat and just relax the arms by the side body. Turn the toes together, touch them, touch the toes, and allow the heels to fall out to the side. We're just going to take 2 deep breaths here, feeling the compression of the belly into the earth. Feels quite good. Nice release for the spine. 1 more breath. This time we're going to bring the hands underneath the shoulders, and we're going to zip the legs back up, and we're going to press the front of the feet into the earth. I'm going to activate my glutes here, and you can see I have that slight posterior tilt of the pelvis, so I'm finding the length in the lumbar spine. So I've activated that back section of the body, and I'm drawing the belly into the spine. Elbows are going to stay close into the body. Kiss the mat, and as you inhale the breath, lift the chest up off the earth. Really lengthening the feet away from the body. Now I haven't straightened into my arms here. This is baby cobra, Bhujangasana. Exhale and release. We're going to do that 2 more times. Kiss the mat as you exhale a breath. And as you inhale, press and lift. You might lift a little bit higher. Exhale and release. We're going to come up 1 more time. So zip the legs up, press the front of the feet into the earth. Check where your elbows are, that the hands are underneath the shoulders and the elbows are heading back towards the waist. Exhale the breath, kiss the mat, bye mat. Inhale and lift. Coming up maybe just a little bit higher. Exhale and release. This time we're going to take the arms down by the side, turn the left ear down to the mat, gaze to the right, touch the toes together and allow the heels to fall out to the side. Take 3 deep breaths here. Feel the compression of the belly into the earth. That little stretch through the neck. We're going to take the hands, bring the head back to center and take the hands a little bit wider now. So again, zipping up the legs, bringing the heels back together. And my hands are just outside of my elbows. You're going to press the front of your feet into the earth. Kiss the mat as you inhale. Squeeze the shoulder blades together and lift. Exhale and release. We're going to do that 2 more times. Inhale. Exhale and release. 1 more round. Zip up the legs. Stretch the feet back. Inhale. Exhale and release. Bring the hands down by the side body. Turn the right ear down to the mat, gaze to the left. Toes touch, heels fall out to the side. 3 deep breaths here. Feeling that lovely grounded connection to the earth. A little bit of respite from our back bending. Our next shape is a variation of locust pose. So, a little bit tricky. We're going to turn the hands down towards the earth and roll to one side. You're going to take the flats of the palms down to the earth and you're going to squeeze the pinky fingers together. So it looks like this when you're lying flat on the floor, but I'm just going to come up to kneeling and show you what the arms look like underneath. So as you're going to turn the hands, palms down towards the earth and you're going to squeeze the elbows together and the hands are going to be flat down to the earth. Now, this is not a particularly comfortable position, but it will start to open up and become a little bit easier as you practice. In your first go, you might only get to here, and that's perfectly okay. Just keep working towards bringing the elbows closer together underneath the body, the wrists, and the pinkies touch underneath. And eventually you're going to slide those hands all the way down towards the knees. But wherever you're at today is perfectly okay. So let's give this a go. Coming down onto the belly, slide the left hand and the right hand, pinkies touching. And the chin is slightly forward here, just gazing to the end of the mat. So the toes are pointing back and the front of the feet are pressing into the mat. With your first inhale breath, you're going to lift the right leg up off the earth. I want you to think about pressing the hip into the forearm. 2 more breaths here, keeping the hips square to the earth. Exhale and release. Let's do that same lift on the left-hand side. As you inhale the breath, lift the left leg. Press that left hip back into the left forearm. 2 more breaths here. And now for the super fun part. Exhale, release. Squirrel the hands a little closer to the knees. And we're going to start to lift the feet up off the floor. Before you do that, I want you to tuck the face down so the nose is touching the mat. Exhale the breath. And as you inhale, press your hands into the mat and start to lift the legs. Reach the toes towards the back of the mat. 2 more breaths. Lift a little higher. Last breath. Exhale and release. Oh, lift those arms out. Woo! And you can take the left ear down to the mat, gazing to the right, toes touch, heels fall out to the side. You're going to take 3 beautiful deep breaths here. So a lot of the time we avoid back bending because it's hard. And most of our lives we're in the direction of going forward. And just as we were discussing in yesterday's tutorial, that sensation of always going forward brings us into a state of kyphosis where we start to roll the shoulders down. So really important that we work back in the other direction and balance that out. And that's why back bending is so important for us, keeping our spines healthy and strong. Bringing the chin back to center. We're going to come into full locust now. So ladies, make any adjustments that you need. We're going to take our arms out to the side. Exhale the breath, kiss the mat. And as you inhale, both hands and feet are coming up off the earth. You want to squeeze the shoulder blades together here. Lift the hands and keep lifting the feet, lifting the feet, lifting the feet. 2 more breaths. 1 more breath. Exhale and release. Right ear down to the mat, gaze to the left. We're going to do that variation one more time. And then guess what? We're going to get one more exercise and we're done. And we're going to finish up in child's pose, which is our counterbalance for back bending, or a counter shape for back bending. Take the arms back to the side. Last round of full locust. Reach the toes as far away as you can. Stretch and strengthen through those legs. Exhale, kiss the mat. Bye mat. Inhale, lift. A little bit of wind, sorry everybody. 2 more breaths here. Lift the hands, lift the feet. Oh, there goes the door again. Exhale and release. Touch the toes together. Left ear down to the mat, gaze to the right. So our last back bend in this series is going to be Dhanurasana, or floor bow. So bring the chin back towards the chair, towards the mat, and you can reach around and grab hold of the feet on the outside. Squeeze the knees together. Exhale a breath, and as you inhale, lift the chest and chin and kick the feet into the hands. We're going to take 2 more breaths here, wherever you're at, lifting and lengthening. 1 more breath, inhale, lift, exhale and release. Right ear to the mat, gaze to the left. Bring the hands underneath the shoulders. Lift the feet and press back up into your push-up. Walk the knees forward, tuck the toes, and come into your child's pose. And just hang out here. Breathing deep into the belly. Feeling the belly press into the thighs with each breath. And I want you to have the sensation of that breath going into the back of the body. So as you breathe, you really want to feel and center the breath and feel that expansiveness through the spine. Just relaxing the hands down. And eventually you can take the hands back towards the toes and allow the shoulders to sink towards the earth. Take the hips back towards the heel. 3 more deep belly breaths in your child's pose. Gently rolling up to seated. My yogi friends, thank you for being with me in this backbending flow. I hope you enjoyed that. I know backbending can be a challenge. Like for so long, I can tell you times when I've actually avoided it at all costs. But I recognize the benefits of a backbending practice, and I make sure that I include some backbending every time I hop on the rubber rectangle. My yogi friends, have a fantastic day, and I will see you on the next tutorial. Namaste.
Right, an individual case point.